This
and then it
conference
just
will now be recorded.
started fading and fading. We'll figure it out again though, okay?
So guys, welcome
You go,
tonight.
Blonde.
It's August 12th already, and welcome to the MS group. My name is Kim. I have relapsing remitting, diagnosed in 2012, currently on Ocrevus in Des Moines, Iowa. And let's go to John now. Welcome, introduce yourself, and let us know if you need any time tonight.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm from Michigan. I was diagnosed in 2016. Actually, my anniversary diagnosis was on Saturday. I'm currently on Zeposia, and have relapsed remitting. And yes, I would like some time to talk, Kim.
Okay, thank you, John. Corey, welcome. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need any time tonight.
Yeah, hi. My name is Corey. I have relapsing remitting MS. Got diagnosed in 2021, and I'm from Indiana. I will need a little bit of time tonight.
Okay, thank you, Corey. Next, we'll go to Alyssa. Welcome and introduce yourself, please. Listen to me take time.
What? Oh, if I need time,
Let-
right?
Yeah.
My name is Alyssa. I have relapsed and remitting multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed in 2000. And I'm currently on Mavenclad. And sure, I'll take a minute. Just one.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And let's go to Juan Carlos. Welcome and introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Hi everyone. My name is Juan Carlos. I am originally from Puerto Rico. I was diagnosed with RRMS 1991. I am 52 years old. I live in Spokane, Washington. Um, I am on Kesimpta. I'm a divorced parent of two daughters, 19 and 13.
Did you need any time tonight, Juan Carlos?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Mike, welcome from Colombia. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need any time tonight.
Thank you, Kim. I would like some time, and I've had multiple sclerosis since 97, 98. Had relapsing remitting. I'm not taking any of the infusion drugs, but I went to neurologist in Colombia last week, and within 2 minutes she said, "Oh, I'm going to put you on Ocrevus." Um, I've been to Mayo Clinic for 5 years, and they never said a word about any of these new drugs or infusion. So I'm curious from you, Kim, if you heard anything from Mayo about those drugs. And I'm doing all right, but if there's something that would help restore some of my movement, I would let you know about it.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything that will help restore unless anyone else knows about restoring movement.
Yeah.
I know like sometimes some people are on the drug Ampyra, which is now generic, which helps with their walking.
Oh, yes, that's called the MS walking drug, right?
Yes.
Dalfampridine, yeah, Ampyra, yeah.
I don't know if you could maybe, John, put the name of it in the chat so
Oh,
Mike could
yes, yes,
see
yes,
it.
yes, yes. And I so it does help me, but also when I don't take it for a dose or two, even one dose, I can feel it right then. So
How many times do you have to take it?
I take it twice a day.
Wow.
Let me.
Is it a pill or injectable?
It's a pill. Let me get this all looked up here.
And it's one of the medications, Juan Carlos, that you can get a lot cheaper on the Cuban pharmacy online. I always forget the name of his pharmacy. You can Google it. It's
I think it's just marked Cuban pharmacy.
No, it actually
No,
has
it
a
has a
different name.
name.
It has an
Yeah, it has
actual
a name.
name. And then to
Okay.
answer your question, Mike, I think a lot of times with the MS drugs, a lot of neurologists don't use them when people get higher up in age because there's not a lot of data on that population because they don't tend to do uh, studies on the older population. And then they also feel like the symptoms burn out as you get older. I don't have a lot to back that up. Anyone else want to chime in?
Because I've been on 8 medications, I don't necessarily know if it's that, if you're, because the diagnosing age is 20 to 40. So once you get up there, it does get a little but these new medications are supposed to be like, yeah, you don't have to try this first and then fail on that and then go to something else. So I don't know. I mean, it depends on the
It's a
neurologist.
like a potassium blocker uh, that like go down and it will be able to hold on. It's like the leakage of potassium is slowing down your walking and it insulates your nerves somehow. It was explained to me like 5 years ago, but I remember that it's a phosphorus blocker chemical that works with your leg to maintain the ability to walk longer. Right, Carmen? Again, I'm not a medical professional. That's just what I remember, and it's 8:30 at night.
I was just gonna say, while this is one of the few times that we've been overrun by males versus females in the MS group, but Carmen's coming and trying to level out the thing. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Carmen, and if you need time tonight, and you were on mute. I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Can you leave and come back in? Okay, she's gonna do that. And
And
then I did find out the mark. Go ahead.
let me just be honest that Carmen is better than any 4 or 5 guys put together. And even like, you know, you two just be wary, you know. She's Canadian.
Did find out. I did Google. Mark Cuban's pharmacy is called Cost Plus Drugs. Okay, anything else you guys want to talk about before we go on to the next topic?
Can anyone tell me how to turn the lock camera off?
What are you calling in? Are you on a computer, a tablet, a cell phone,
Laptop.
a laptop? On the bottom of your screen, are there little icons that say like mic and camera and share and tools?
There's no lock. No lock.
Hmm. Sometimes if you wiggle your cursor around the screen, the toolbar will pop up.
Are you using the Zoom version for Google or its own app?
I'm on Google.
Hmm.
Okay. The other option
It,
you can do is in the upper right corner. There looks like to be like a gear icon that you can click on, and that's settings. Do you see that?
Deer.
It'd be in the upper right hand corner. Do you use like a Macintosh computer or like a
Is no a PC?
PC? Okay.
I don't have a problem, but no one can see me. See me.
Yeah, because that's the other place that you can access your camera. If you go up to the gear on your upper right-hand corner of your
Here.
screen. Yeah, it looks like there's like a person icon and then a couple quotes, and it looks like a tablet, and then like a gear, like in a machine.
No, I don't
And
have
then there's
that.
3 dots.
We'll go ahead, Kim, and just probably faceless, right?
Okay, that's fine. Does anyone want to go next?
I can go.
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
What I was gonna say was that the other day, Selma Blair. Do you guys know that Selma Blair has MS?
Yeah.
She went up on the Drew Barrymore show and was walking fine. Like nothing. Like she never was walking with a cane. She said she's gonna start working again. She took Mavenclad, which is the same medication I'm taking. But supposedly she did chemotherapy too, so I've heard. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that I'm a little frustrated because I want to be able to walk like that again. That's all. I'm good now.
Celebrities have ruined MS for everyone.
Why?
Well, because they
Have all
get
the
to get
money.
all the big fancy shit because they're millionaires. I mean, Jack Osborne's been diagnosed for like 15 years and he's going bungee jumping into like haunted houses and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of follows the question like, how is Magic Johnson still alive? And like, well, why can't I be able to get those kind of drugs easily? You know what I mean? And so I feel your frustration, Alyssa. Like, God.
And I actually do know her doctor too. And I want to just go ahead and give her doctor a call and be like, Dr. Berkovich, what do I need to do? But yeah, it's just frustrating. But again, everybody's case with MS is different. And I do almost wonder if the reason I'm having trouble really being able to get back to the status quo I want is because I have been on 8 different medications. And I wonder if that has me in the situation that I'm in and the inability to really just recover fully or remit. I haven't had a relapse in God knows how long, but yeah. Hannah, what are you doing here?
She can come. She's not.
I know. I'm just giving her a hard time, Kim.
Well, let's do our introductions here. Let's have Carmen introduce herself and let us know if she needs any time tonight.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. We all just got like really low key as a group.
Hannah, can you hear us?
Yes, now I
Yes.
can.
Hi,
Okay.
Hannah.
Okay.
Hi, Carmen.
Hi,
We were
guys.
about to hear from Carmen.
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes, we
Oh my
can,
God.
Carmen.
Oh, I'm going crazy. I'm so sorry. I was so disruptive coming in so late, and I apologize. I can't get my
I've been
headset to
there.
work. I can't get my headset to work. Air conditioner going beside me, and it's just like it's mental. Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I'd love to say hi, and I could overhear just a little bit, but I really want to hear again what I just missed. I'm so sorry to have missed things, but hi, everyone. Great to see you.
You want to introduce yourself and then let us know if you need time
Oh.
tonight, Carmen?
Didn't I just do that? Sorry. It's Carmen. Hi. I'm Carmen from Canada in Kelowna, British Columbia, and I was diagnosed in 2014 with primary progressive MS. I was on Ocrevus from 2017 until 2023, and in 2024, I started on a randomized control trial last May, and I've just been switched to the actual medication, which is tolebrutinib, and it's been 2.5 months. So I'd love to check in. Hi.
Okay. And Hannah, welcome to our group. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Hi, guys. Well, I really just came to say hi, honestly. I don't really need time. Just wanted to say hi because it's been forever since I've been here. And yeah, I just wanted to say hi and see what's up with everyone, really.
And Hannah is the moderator that leads the MS under 45 group. Can you let us
Mhm.
know, Hannah, in the
Yeah.
YouTube and also on YouTube when that group meets?
Yeah, so for anyone on YouTube, we meet on the fourth Thursdays of the month. I want to say at 6 o'clock. I know it's 30 minutes before this one, so
Okay, that would be 6 o'clock, and that'd be 7 o'clock Central Time.
yes.
Would that be right?
Yes, correct. Yes, sorry. 7 o'clock Central Time. That's 30 minutes. Am I right, Alyssa? Alyssa's always there, but
I
Could,
don't know.
could
Let me
you could you send everyone an email reminder
oh,
like 5
absolutely.
days beforehand? Because I don't remember it
Absolutely.
until it's the day after the fourth Thursday.
Oh,
Know what I mean?
okay, yeah. Yeah,
That would
to the
help.
Friday after. Yeah, that's
Thank
totally
you,
fine. We
Hannah.
can send.
So
We
it
can send.
meets the same week when this group meets in the afternoon. That's
Yes,
the
that's
one way to
exactly it.
remember it.
Yeah, that's actually yeah, that is a really good way to remember it. It meets the
it's
same
four
week except on Thursday.
it's
And Hannah,
4:30.
it says it starts at 7:30 Eastern time. So
Oh,
4:30.
okay, okay. Yeah,
And
yeah, Alyssa, is that what you were saying?
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. How many
And that will
brains
be
in
my
here better than one?
then Hannah also leads our art class that we have monthly. It's on you have to tell I know it's on Thursdays.
Also Thursdays. That's the third Thursdays of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8
Right.
Eastern. Actually, let me show you what we're gonna paint. I asked you the question as if I was gonna give you a choice. Ta-da!
Oh, fun.
Constellations. That's Scorpio, by the way. Not that you have to make Scorpio. You don't.
Um, that constellation is called Scorpius. That's just the
Oh.
sign.
Thank you,
Sorry,
John. Thank you.
sorry. I sorry about that. I just wanted to
We
get going.
need no, I need that. I used to be really into astrology, but not like astronomy. Not astronomy. Thank you, John. So yes. We're gonna make a galaxy and yeah, hopefully yeah, will be fun.
That's
We'll get to
awesome.
use a sponge. Yeah, we'll use a sponge this time. So
Cool.
it'll be great. Yeah. But
That
anyway,
sounds
I just came
awesome.
to say hi.
Who would like to go next? Alyssa?
Oh, I was saying hi to Hannah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'll stay for y'all's intros. I'll stay.
I was also going to say that Hannah will be running the Women Speaking Freely group, which
Whoa,
she
she's
didn't
just running
mention.
everything
So
nowadays. Wow, Hannah, you go,
yeah,
girl.
she's trying a little bit of everything. Do you want to talk that group up, Alexa?
Yeah, women speaking freely. It's basically, well, I've been there before a couple of times and we talk about really anything. That one's not recorded, mostly because anything can come out
Yeah.
in that
Anything
group.
but usually anything but
Anything but
treatment.
treatment. Yeah.
I don't go to
Uh,
Women Speaking Freely. I go to
Yeah.
Men Speaking Freely. So
Yeah.
John and Juan Carlos, if you want to attend that group, that's available also.
Bill,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Would AnCan ever think about doing like uh, them speaking freely, they them speaking freely?
Yes,
Ooh,
as a matter of fact, we would. One of our to-do lists is perspective groups, and we have something similar to that on the list. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
very cool. Yeah, can't wait for that. But yeah, the Women Speaking Freely group, it's really literally anything except for treatments. Although it comes out every once in a while, just naturally, because that's just the lives we live. But typically, I try to steer away from that and talk about everything else but that. So it's a good group, and literally, you can word vomit if that's what's on your mind. Then you do it, and we're there for you.
How big are your groups been in the past that you've been to?
Um, Not too big. 3 or 4 maybe. Last time there were 2 including me, so they're pretty small. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be pretty small. So, the more the merrier, I think.
Yeah, they need more attendance. Again, I don't go, but I know how many attend. But
Yeah.
the men speaking freely, we get a pretty good number,
Oh,
15 to
good.
20, 15 to 20 most time, most months.
Yeah, the Women Speaking Freely is still a relatively new group. I mean, I guess it's been a few months, but still relatively new.
We're not going to say men are more interested in getting in touch with their feelings or anything like that, are we? Because we have a larger group. So.
Nah. Nah. Hi,
Okay.
Andrea. Hi, Karen. Hi, y'all.
Karen, do you want to introduce yourself and let us know if you have any thing you need some time tonight?
Well, I'll check in. I'm
Cool.
on my little tablet. I've been trying to get on in the computer, but that's not happening. Are there really 11 people here?
Yeah.
Oh, I only have 5 squares. I'm Karen. I'm in Oakland. I have non-relapsing progressive MS. I'm living on creativity, not drugs.
Good one, Karen.
Jim, I have somebody that may be of interest to the group. In Colombia, you don't pay for the expensive drugs, $100,000 a year. You join a cohort. I'm trying to get in a cohort for Ocrevus, and you go through the tests and so on. And once you're in, I think there's no cost. So my advice to anyone from the U.S. who pays, just charge full price or ridiculous amount of money. Uh, you can come to Colombia, and I joined I got retirement visa. Well, part of the deal when you get that visa, you have to join EPS, is the National Health Care, and it costs $1,200, and then everything is free, prescriptions, doctor visits, and so on.
Wow. And
So you could save some Americans a lot of money.
wow. Did
It,
did you say that you're in Colombia right now?
yeah, I've been here.
Okay.
I've been here for a year.
Okay, wow.
What
Already
part?
been a year?
Where are you, Mike? It's Karen in Colombia.
In Medellin,
Oh, how's your Spanish?
it's, I'm too old to learn Spanish. Not speaking enough.
Wow.
I spoke. I was fluent when I was 20, and I lost it all, and there's not coming back. And most people in Medellin don't speak English. So it's tough.
Andrea, do you want to introduce yourself and let us know if you need any time tonight?
Yeah, my name is Andrea. I live in North Carolina. I was diagnosed in 2012. I am on Ocrevus and just a short minute. Kim, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Who wants to go next? John?
Yeah. So the last time that we talked, I was getting ready to head to St. Louis, Missouri for like a week. Uh, my wife Melissa, her family's down there, and it's kind of was a you need to get the family all together for grandma kind of a thing, because grandma is 96 and she has dementia. So it was a whirlpool of the cousins coming in, all that stuff. Staying in a hotel was fine, like everything was great there. Uh, roll in all the stuff, but it was just a lot of stress because the situation and being so far out of my comfort zone, along with like the physical endurance of driving 6 hours one day, doing it again the next, and still like in the car in the same spot. So I'm still recovering, pretty sore from that, but honestly, it was a good trip overall. We all got to, like, Melissa and I got to hang out with grandma. We had a good time. Everyone got to hang out. And one thing that's was funny was like we were talking about what we're going to do, and Melissa's mom says, "Well, we've got the pellet gun," and our niece just says, "Well, I could shoot a gun," like just like that, like, "Well, I could shoot a gun," and it just took me so far off balance because apparently her uncle smokes weed too. I found that out, so that was the highlight of the trip. Other than okay, Hannah, I feel like you may have seen it on Facebook. I'm not sure. When I was down there, I was going to a gaming shop, and the gaming shop had a half block long ramp to get to it, but it covered several businesses. Uh, One of the restaurants that was right there on that ramp had their patio seating out on the handicap ramp, uh, and I mean that's a fire no-no and an ADA no-no. In fact, the bottom of the ramp had a fucking table with a fucking fire pit in it, surrounded by the heavy aerodynamic chairs. So people, while they're eating on my disabled ramp, had to come and help me even get to the bottom of it. So I didn't apologize while perching up. I was like, "Hey, talk to your waitress, talk to the manager." Uh, so I talked to their manager, commented on the Facebook page, called the fire marshal. Fire marshal told me to call code enforcement. Code enforcement didn't work, so tomorrow I'm calling their building manager, like the person that owns where the violations are. So I did some really good outreach for people. And it was in an area that was all under construction, so like just everything was bad. So like sidewalks, they couldn't get in and out places. Uh, but also it was a good trip because seeing the family, and I haven't seen her niece, and her niece and I both have troubles in larger groups. Um, but hers and I manifest in different ways. So I got to hang out with her, and like she didn't even want to be in the family photo because she didn't want to be seen. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna hang out up front where no one is right now. Come on out. We honestly chatted for like the weekend. She's like, this is cool. We exchanged numbers. I said, honestly, if you ever come and hang out with Melissa and I, let's just fly you out. She's like, okay. Uh, she is the 17-year-old that wants to move to Mexico um, and live there. Uh, she lives in Oregon, but she spends a lot of time in Mexico, and she's street fluent. So I'm like, yeah, go. Do whatever you want. You're 18 really soon. Do what you want to do, especially if it gets you away from the trigger events. So that was a good time too. And those of us that are new here, I didn't know if you knew that I lost like over 100 pounds in the past like 2 years ish. Um, and I really wanted to get a nice new shirt, maybe some new shorts for the grandma picture. So I went to the Big and Tall shop, and there's two people that work in the Big and Tall shop. You got the older white lady, and then you got like the big, tall black guy. And when you get the big, tall black guy, you know he's going to get you all set up. So I'm a 2X where I was like a 4X a year and a half ago. Um, and he was like, he would fill stuff out like, okay, these are our store brands. And in these store brands, you are this size, this size, this size. Like, I was almost fit for a suit. So it was really cool. I felt really good about like getting myself a pretty new wardrobe. Uh, you know, and all that. So the difficulties, of course, were, transferring in and out, but we got it down. The problem hotels where we stayed in the same one on the way down and on the way back, they have 15 member points per ward parking spaces. They have 5 handicap spaces. Guess what's between the 3 that are along the side that is a bump you have to hold up on to pull the door. So if you're in by yourself, you have to pull the door while maintaining a back to get on. But if you're a member rewards member, you get closer to the front door. That just sucked. That sucked a lot, and it felt like no one really cared there. And so I've got the card of the manager. I'm gonna give her a call tomorrow and advocate, say like, hey, this is unacceptable. Like this is terrible. And honestly, I'm here to endorse the Drury Inn. It has like, it's amazing. They treated me so well there. So if you're traveling, the Drury Inn, that's good stuff right there. So it was a hotel experience like unlike I've been to before, in the fact that the usual breakfast, uh, but popcorn all day, soda machine all day, uh, dinner at night, and then 3 drinks every day. So it was like a weird resort hotel, and Grandma kept asking like, I don't know how they can make their money back on that. I was like, do you know how many disabled people want to know that they're perfectly taken care of when they get here? Like, because we had to switch hotels, big story of course, we're gonna be able to be 4 days in our hotel, be out of the hotel or in another room for a night, and then back. The Drury Inn actually called the guy to be like, hey, do you actually need this thing tomorrow night? No. So they got us not to have to move out and move back in. So just really good treatment all around, especially for me, opening doors, pushing me, helping me, stuff like that. So the Drury Inn, and I felt like I was forgetting everything around there, and it beat up on me, you know. But I'm home, I'm safe, and I have been going to the nerd store as often as I can, all by myself. Like, literally, Melissa dropped me off outside, and I'm like, bye, Mom. All sassy pants like that. Uh, and the cool thing about this shop, honestly, is, you know, I know the language, I know the jargon, I know that smell. If you are a nerd, you just kind of know. Um, but it's just the owner has made it so accessible there, like moving stacks of books out of the way. Um, right before he bought the building, they had turned a bathroom into like a bathroom, So there's lots of places to be able to change there when I need to. And also, when we're taking a break between games, it's cool to go outside and smoke. So, out of the house freedom, nerd space, that I want to go every day, but they're not open every day. But yeah, so that's just been really nice to get out of the house and do that stuff. I mean, you guys know that I wasn't getting out of the house. And if you guys know my struggles with getting the same person to come every Wednesday to help out, because I had 7 different people in the 10 weeks that I was doing it, and tomorrow the first girl comes back. So like, we need to get this going because their turnaround was so high. You know, these were young kids making $17, you know, and taking care of people. You know, like, that seems like so little money for a big responsibility. You know, um, so of course they have turnover, but it's nice to see the person coming back. I'm glad. Kim, are you awake still? Sorry about that. She's muted, so she has no idea that you can't hear her because she's muted.
Sorry, I was on mute. I forgot about that.
Thanks, Kim.
So I just hear about all these advocacy opportunities you've been doing.
Oh yeah, I've been asked to be an MS ambassador for MS Walks. Like, I sent
Hey,
him a message and Alyssa a message. That's just where you are on my camera. And like, yeah, so I'm filling that stuff out tomorrow because my helper will be there and I'll be able to concentrate on some stuff like that. So yeah, I get to start with that. Um, Also, had a dentist appointment today. You guys know I've had some dental issues, and after 7 visits in 2.5 months, I don't have to go back for 6 more months. I was able to say, like, "Well, I'll see you next year," and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to see you until then." So I was like, "Yay!" And I did it like a champ, like the injections, whatever. I just think that it's funny, like, hey, there's something wrong with one of your bones, so we're gonna drill into it, pack some stuff in, shine a light at it, and then scrape smoke. If you think about it, that's how fillings work.
Sounds terrifying. I'm I'm so scared of dental work.
I'm
I
sorry.
hate it.
I'm sorry. I forgot to say that. Oh gosh, trigger warning. I had a dental appointment today. Everything's fine.
Okay, good. On that note, I gotta go, guys.
Seeing you,
But I'll
Hannah.
see you around.
Nice meeting you.
Bye. Nice meeting you too.
Hannah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Hannah.
Bye.
The painting looks awesome that's coming up. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, sometimes I forget that because I love my dentist so much that people still are like afraid of the dentist and stuff like that. So I apologize for anything else. I'm good. I'm done.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Hey, Corey.
Yeah, it's just it's still summertime here, 90s, high 80s. I'm still struggling walking, I mean, in the heat, it just kills me. I'm due up for an infusion in October, so I got another month and a half left. I did want to let you know though that I did get I did get approved for my disability. So that
Awesome.
yeah, that kind of went through the first time. So, and I didn't have to deal with no lawyer or nothing like that. So I kind of give credit to my doctors for that because they told me, because back in the day, or, I told them I was freaking out about it because I knew at some point it was going to come to an end for me. I just knew it was. And they told me, they said, don't worry about it. I mean, everything's fine. I mean, you'll be fine. Everything's documented. You don't have to worry about nothing. And so I filed in January 24th, and I got my decision at the beginning of July that they
Wait,
that
Wow,
they
you were
approved.
quick.
wait,
That
wait. Hold on a second. This government?
yeah, I live in Indiana.
Well, no, I just mean like overall. For like, what have they been doing for the past like 30 years?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Like I said, I was kind of surprised because I was freaking out real bad when I originally talked to them in January, and they told me that they didn't say it would. Okay, they said it could take up to 18 months, and I'm freaking out. I mean, I'm just totally freaking out, and because I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. And I asked that lady on the phone, I said, so is the only way you can file for a disability case is either you have to be a millionaire or you have to have another spouse working? And she said pretty much yes. I mean, because you have to have income. I mean, because you got to pay for your bills, right? Well, I will tell you, everybody, me and my wife have been so blessed. I mean, to have a son that stood. I mean, he took care of us. I mean, he's took care of us for 7 months. I mean, he's paid all of our bills. I mean, he's done everything. And now, of course, now it's just me paying him back. And and he's not worried about it, but we are. And now I just got to, I'm going to pull money out of my 401k. That way I can give it back to him. But like I said, other than that, I mean, I was happy that it did go through. And, but other than that, that's pretty much, all I really need to say tonight.
Congratulations.
I'm so glad that you have that stress resolved if you're going to be on, if you're approved or not. That's huge to have that weight lifted off your shoulders.
About your stepdad.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How about your stepdad? I said he looks so much better.
Oh, my stepdad told me I went over there the other day to visit my stepdad and my mom, and they could just tell by my face or, just my complexion and everything. It was just, they could just see how relieved I was. I mean, from, the stress of not knowing, when I told him. So it's great. It's a great feeling to know that at least I have some money coming in to where I can pay my bills.
To jump on what you were talking about, Corey, I finally yesterday got a letter in the mail from Social Security that said, "Yeah, you're still we reviewed it and you're still disabled." And this group would be like, "Well, duh.
yeah.
Why would I not be? With the type of disease I have, I'm not getting better." So yeah, but that was a huge
Sure.
relief off of my shoulders. The fact that I don't have to worry about getting are they kicking me off? And they're not kicking me off now. They'll until their next review session. But you know how much time
Sure.
and money was probably spent because they pulled records from everybody, from my eye doctor to my hormone doctor, and they have to review that and all the work I had to do, fill out forms. Just how much of a waste of time, of energy, and resources to prove I'm still disabled when I could pretty much tell you, or if you just do research about MS, you don't, get to a point you don't get, back to the same where you were. You know what I mean? So anyway, but I'm
Carmen?
so happy for you, Corey, that you have that stress off your back, and I'm so grateful
Yeah.
that you had your son was really stepped it up and helped you all. That was awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Carmen,
Thank you very much.
yeah. Good job.
Also, I went to the the hearing doctor the other day because I know that MS is caused this. That I'm pretty sure, but I have no equilibrium left at all. I mean, I have no balance at all. I mean, my balance is just completely in left field. I'm just, I'm constantly dizzy. I'm just lightheaded all day long or dizzy all day long. I take that meclizine. Why?
Hmm.
I have no idea. I mean, because I assume if I don't take it, it's not going to do anything different. I mean, because I take it and I'm still just dizzy all day long. Well, I went to the hearing test, and of course, I did all that, and of course, my hearing is really bad. So they told me that I need hearing aids, and so I go on the 29th of this month to go for a consultation on to get hearing aids, to order them and to get them. And they told me that that could possibly, help with my balance issue and my dizziness and stuff like that too. Now, whether or not it will or not, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it does, and if it does, I will be amazed. And if it does, I'm going back to work. But if it doesn't, at least I'll be able to hear again.
Yeah, and they have a trial period with the Social Security disability where you can work for so many months, try to go back to work and not get penalized for it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you'll hear all about that because you'll get lots of flyers about it and they'll email you and all that. So,
I got you.
Work period.
Well, thank you. That's all I had tonight.
okay. Thanks for sharing, Cary. It's good to hear that. Good news.
That's awesome, Corey. I just, that feeling of waiting to hear the results or like the decision or whatever, it's such a terrible time to be in, especially when you're just dealing with accepting it yourself, and then you have to like prove it to other people and you're just, I don't know, I'm just kind of going a little bit deep on there, but having just like felt what you just went through, it brought back some memories of all that adjustment. And that's why I said it's such a crazy thing that we celebrate. Like, I'm so happy for you. And I can hear, like, even just I can hear, and I hardly know you at all, just your voice, Corey, but I can hear how different you sound. And it just takes me back there. I don't know. I just have to say that. Sorry to everyone to
Well,
interrupt.
well, amen, and thank you, Carmen.
I see some heads nodding, so I think people are sort of remembering or agreeing with that feeling. It's just a crazy
Oh,
thing. So.
I
Absolutely.
I celebrated by throwing something. Oh, look,
Alrighty.
there's Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Bye.
Hi, Melissa.
Y'all say hi and bye. Uh, yeah,
So thanks for sharing your story, Corey. It was awesome to hear the positive and the relief.
You're very welcome.
I mean, Kim's so right. Honestly, Melissa put over 1,000 hours into put stuff in. So like getting that, like, that just that feeling of, oh my God, I like finally. And that's why we even like celebrate when people get renewed, because it means like what the, like nothing's being taken away after so much
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That's a crack I fell through recently. They
Is that right?
sent me documentation to tell me that I needed to um, prove that I was still disabled, and I never got it. And then they cut my benefits, and I had to go to Social Security, and I said, "Hey, I never got the notice that I needed to do the test with the doctors and all that to get, renewed." And it took since September all the way until March for them to reinstate me again. And I asked them, why do you put people like myself through this? Because I have MS and it's uncurable. It doesn't have a cure yet. So why do I have to keep proving to you that I'm disabled? And she said, well, that's the process. But I was in a category that you had to be um, reapproved every 3 years or something like that, 2 years. And then she moved me to, I think, 6 or 7 years now. So at least, I know that I can put it in the calendar and go like, don't let this shit happen again.
I'm sorry, Juan Carlos. I was having audio issues, so I missed the first part. So you got, if I heard correctly, you got kicked off of Social Security for a little while, and then
Yeah, because
when
I
did that
received,
happen?
they sent me a letter saying that I needed to um, prove that I was still disabled, that they were going to do some tests and stuff, that they would pay for it, but I never got that letter. And then
Oh,
when they stopped making payments, then I went to Social Security and they explained that they sent me this letter, and because I didn't answer in enough time, that that's why they stopped Social Security and stopped Medicare and everything. So I was without any kind of benefits for about 6 months.
Do they do back pay when you get reinstated then at least?
Yeah, they did.
Thankfully.
But
I mean, it doesn't
but
help you in the time, of course.
yeah, but like Corey was saying, a family member helped, and then I had to pay them back. But 6 months of, is it gonna be this month? Is it gonna be this month?
Yeah.
It
So
get
much
it puts a
uncertainty.
weight. Yeah, it's an uncertainty. Yeah, but most of all, it was the not having Medicare. I had to apply for Medicaid over here in Washington, and thank God I got it pretty quickly, and I was able to. I had to get new doctors and everything. It was such a big hassle, but it's over now. I'm back. Social Security. It's my only income, so it's getting difficult.
Yeah, it's kind of important that it doesn't stop, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's sad that whatever little detail can stop everything, and then
Is there not
I
a
const
permanently disabled category for you guys? Like, I know that there's lots of different insurance coverage, and I know that it's very different than how it is here in Canada, but are there not different categories, or can your neurologist not say permanently disabled? Like, that's what mine did. And I've had, like, once it all went through, I haven't had one question. Of course, my insurance, I still have to, sign a consent and say, yes, everything's the same, but I don't have to do anything.
and here in the States, it's so different. I don't know how it is in Canada, but over here, health care is not a right,
Have you
it's a
not
benefit.
seen our president, Carmen?
Oh my God, yes. I'm trying not to watch, but I can't. It's like a crash. You can't look away. And I'm just so sad for so many people and worried. But yes, yeah, cuckoo
Yeah,
land.
it's stressful. It's a
I
bit
have yet
stressful now.
Kim said she's having some internet issues and she's rebooting her computer, so hopefully she'll be back with us soon.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I sit
But
down and
yeah, healthcare is a mess in the United States,
Mm-hmm,
Carmen.
mm-hmm. Alyssa, you had your hand up.
Alyssa,
yeah, I have. You guys keep talking about having to renew your disability. I've never had to do that. Like, is that a normal thing that you have to have
how long,
your
yeah, how
oh,
long have you been on disability?
oh my God, I look at my Medicare card in 2008.
Alyssa,
Then I don't know,
Alyssa,
maybe
actually,
you've been lucky, I guess.
I,
that was the first thing that Kim told me. She said, you're going to have to renew this someday. So keep really, really good records. Like, that was one of the first things Kim told me after being diagnosed or getting a disability. Like, make sure you keep everything because you're going to have to reprove that you're disabled.
see,
It sounds like
I
maybe there can be differences, John. Alyssa, maybe like the category that I mean, what are you diagnosed with and what has your doctor filled out?
multiple sclerosis, and it took me 3 years or 2 years to get it. I applied, I got denied. I appealed, I got denied, and then I had a court case, and I finally got it. But maybe it's because of the fact that I've been with the same neurologist for 25 years.
Alyssa,
Maybe their records are really good.
Alyssa, when
So maybe
did you
they're
apply?
following up with Social Security for you.
What?
Maybe they are following up with Social Security for you. Like if SSDI reaches out to them, maybe they're just showing the, documentation needed to show that yes, you're still sick.
I can definitely see Dr. Saikat doing that.
Yeah,
I've been
I
seeing
bet
her
that's what's happening.
I've been seeing her for 25 years.
Yeah,
When did you
that's
apply
awesome.
when did you apply for disability, Alyssa?
Okay, the first time I applied, I applied in 2002 after my
Okay.
mom passed away, and I was trying to get it with the payment because I was diagnosed at 16. I would have gotten the benefits from my mother's Social Security because I would have been a survivor. But I got denied and didn't realize I needed to fight again and do it again and appeal. So I think I finished undergrad and then I had finished applying. So 2006
Okay.
was when I had applied again. And then I finally got the Social Security through my Social Security number. I couldn't get it from my mom because I had passed the threshold or the statute to get the benefits from my late mother. So at the time I was getting like $800. So then I got SSI to make it that I was getting $900 altogether. But I'm still surviving and now I get a little bit more because I paid into it.
Is that your only income?
Yes.
How do
I
you
have
survive?
familial help. I have family help. My uncle's an actor, and he helps me every month to help me pay my rent.
Oh, wow.
And I'm in a special program at my apartment where it's called low mod, so low to moderate income. So I pay, like the apartment complex would be like, I think 20, almost 2,500 for a one bedroom. I only pay about 1,400.
Hey, Alyssa, um,
Yes.
I'm glad that your actor relative helps you out. I've read that Brad Pitt is really nice. I've seen Brad Pitt, your uncle.
No, Brad Pitt is not my uncle.
Nice try getting it though, John.
I went for it, right? You gotta try.
Gotta
Yeah,
try.
no. I mean, no.
Is
His
he
old
is
character's name was Brad, but no.
Good that you have help, Alyssa, like thankfully, because like what are people supposed to do if they don't have help? Like seriously. And then just going back to Trump and him talking about picking up homeless people and moving them far away from the city, like what is your problem?
Yeah.
What is half this world's problem? Like,
yeah,
Yep.
thank God,
that is
thank God we have family that love and care for us in addition to everything else that we have to deal with. Anyway, sorry.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm so grateful. I mean, I wish everybody could have an Uncle Donald.
Yeah.
Like I'm blessed because that's my mom's brother. So, being that I'm the oldest child, like the oldest kid in the family, um, I was his little minion when I was born. So, I mean, we just have always had that kind of connection. But I mean, it's also the fact that his sister passed away when I was 17. So, and then I was
Sorry.
diagnosed with MS when I was 16. So he was kind of like, let me go and step in there. I was okay. I was actually okay until about 2010. And I mean, like, I went to undergrad, I went to grad school, I worked, I was able to survive. But then when I went down from the waist down, that was the end of it. So yeah.
I don't
But
know
I'm
You
whose
sound
turn it is, but Alyssa, you were saying something when I just joined and I was having so many audio issues at the beginning. And I apologize if we haven't moved on to a new topic, but I just,
um
Juan Carlos maybe was speaking. I'm sorry,
I
Juan Carlos.
don't know.
I was just gonna say that Alisa is my the opposite of me, the total opposite of everything that she is. It's like she's a woman, I'm a guy. I can still walk. Unfortunately, you cannot. Um, I also got my MS when I was pretty young. I was 19. So in that regard, we're the same. I worked for many years, but I never finished my education because one of the things that MS affected was my cognition, and I also have bipolar, so it was really hard for me to get and keep jobs. Thank God I got married and everything just kind of worked out for many years, but now I'm divorced and I don't have any family. So I hope that I don't end up homeless because the way that um, the government is right now, I am terrified of what might happen to me.
Hmm.
I really
Right?
hope you don't become homeless either.
Yeah, because I don't even know if I can get a job because I might be able to get a job, but my problem is always keeping them, like
Right.
being consistent with my job. And yeah, didn't mean to rain on anybody's parade. I just wanted to say that because it's been bothering me and
Thanks for
I
sharing.
don't have family and I really don't have very many friends. So that's why I kind of clock in when I can see you guys and you guys are positive, so I appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing, Juan Carlos.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
even know what to say.
thanks for listening.
You didn't
There's nothing
you
you
didn't
need
bring
to say.
anything down. You didn't bring anything down at all, man. We're here for good and bad and everything, man.
I appreciate that. I
Second
always
that.
seem to I always seem to bring people down because, you know, especially here in the States, everybody's like, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing?" But nobody really wants to know how you're doing. So when somebody asks and I tell them, "Well, I'm not doing very well," you immediately feel the, "Oh, why did I even ask?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I share even a little, it I can't help but think, "Oh, I'm just being such a whiny baby." People have their
No,
own problems.
no.
It's
Not
kind of
at
the
all.
reason this all exists, actually. I mean, you're just speaking truth to the reason of this existence, right? This group.
That's what's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
great
and
about
you know
this
what?
group. It's because
I got
we understand those kind of things that you're experiencing. It's very
Yeah, I feel blessed for what I have. Um, my ex-wife has been very understanding, and she's an awesome person. Our marriage didn't work out, but at least she hasn't kicked me out. Like when you divorce somebody and they go like, "I can't stand you. When are you moving out?" She hopes for me to be independent, but she's not rushing me, and I appreciate that. And I've been working, with people here in my state. I got the help to get a laptop, and I'm hoping to get like training to disability vocational rehabilitation. Maybe I can do some work from home kind of stuff and supplement my income because right now Social Security is my only income, and half of my income is just to pay the help with the rent, and the cost like electricity and whatnot. But
You, Carlos, you're taking the steps that you need to take. It's not
I'm,
gonna
I'm
happen. It's not gonna happen like that. It's a process.
yeah, I'm doing, yeah, I'm applying for something like what you have, like a place that has like a lower income rent like a system. I'm on a bunch of waiting lists for apartments. Also, I applied for Section 8, but they open Section 8 every few years, so there's a
Yeah.
huge waiting list. So I'm I'm in the hands of God, you know, doing what I can do and hoping for the best.
And that's freaking awesome that you're still doing. Because there are people that in a situation with having MS or not being able to do normal, be quote unquote be normal, they won't try. They won't care. They don't care. They don't want to better themselves. But you are doing exactly that. You're bettering yourself.
I'm trying. I'm trying. It's
You
hard to.
just trying. You're doing
I am doing, yes, but
one step at a time.
yes, that's my motto. I have to do something every day. It and some days it's more difficult. It's difficult some days more than others, but it's been more good days than bad days. That's good.
There you go. You're up. You're breathing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning. You're taking your breath right now. You're talking to us, and I'm totally chiming in like I'm your therapist. I'm sorry. Um, but you're doing. You're
Yeah.
doing. It's little steps,
Yeah.
little steps, and you'll see the change. Just keep the mentality that okay, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of things. It's just that sometimes I think, am I doing enough? Is this good enough? How much more can I
Waking up
do
in
I
the
have to
morning.
do?
Are you waking up in the morning?
Yeah, every morning.
In the morning. That's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Give yourself credit.
Yes, I have a lot of things to be thankful for.
Huh?
It's fighting the negative thoughts. That's difficult sometimes. But other than that,
Difficult, but you're doing it and doing it and doing it well. As LL Cool J, that LL Cool J says it, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know the song. Don't know who sings it, but I know the
LL
song.
Cool J doing it and doing it and doing it well. And he
Yeah,
said,
Jodeci.
Jordan,
yeah, yeah.
oh, thank you, John.
No, I made that up. I made that up.
Oh,
It could
thank
be
you for
him.
helping me out, man.
I said Jodeci, but I know I'm not right.
I don't know who it is, but
We'll
that's
assume.
the line. Anyways,
Who would like to go
Yeah.
next?
am I gonna get in trouble now because I spoke so much to Juan Carlos?
No, not at all. I was gonna say I'll go next, but I was on mute.
Go ahead, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Hello. Um, so I just wanted to respond to John about getting out of the house and having that um store to go to, people to talk to is just so important. And I only get out, I mean, I get out of the house other times, but I have, gotten into pottery.
Yeah.
Every single Wednesday, I go to pottery. And
Andrea, Andrea,
yeah,
just had something fired like 3 months ago before like I was in the hospital all the time, and just needs to
right?
be glazed.
Glazed.
But the owner of the
Uh-huh.
shop was nice enough to keep it for me for a long time.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Melissa's actually made it so that she needs another pottery class. So I know pottery. Yes, it's awesome. Tell us more.
Yes. Yes. It's way more physically challenging than I expected, but I think that even that is good for me. So, so yes, getting out and stuff is so important. Um, and then we had that whole conversation with Corey, and I'm sorry that he dropped. But there's like multiple things I wanted to tell Corey. One was just that I had a similar experience with SSDI. I applied in November and I think I got approved in May,
Wow.
something like that. Um, But all of that time, like, I had no idea when I would get approved or if I would get approved. And thankfully, I had my mom to help me out. So yeah, anyway, that whole stuff. And then I wanted to suggest to him a neurophysical therapist. Um, and Alyssa, I see your note. So have a good night.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. My caregiver just got here. So I gotta go. Have a good night,
Okay,
guys.
Thanks,
Melissa.
bye.
Alyssa. Good night.
So I feel like I don't know if he ever watches this when he's not here, but like there's exercises that a neurophysical therapist can give you that will help with balance issues and I think m- maybe even the dizziness. But I know for sure the balance, which might in and of itself help with because I've got like she diagnosed inner ear um, stuff and she gave me exercises to do it. So, whether even if the hearing aid doesn't help, I would I'm such a believer in physical therapy over surgery or pharmaceuticals or anything like that. I mean, there's a time and a place for each of them, but physical therapy is just amazing. And a neurophysical therapist for those of us with MS, I think is crucial. She diagnose things that I didn't even realize just by running me through a series of tests. Absolutely amazing. And then for Juan Carlos, I wanted to give you a shout out for your how are you dilemma because it was just like yesterday or the day before, I was telling a friend of mine that exact thing. Like, people ask, hey, how are you? And they really don't want to know. They just don't want to know. So, I usually will over exaggerate it. Like, I'm fantastic. Thank you. How are because I feel like shit. And you don't care how I feel. It's just a saying. It's a greeting. It's not a tell me your woes type of thing. So, yeah, the sun is out and that makes me very happy. Or sometimes I'll say, like lately, my answer is, well, I haven't seen the sun in days. I really could use some sunshine in my life. But, so I try to answer it kind of in that way because, yeah, unless they're a close friend who is, sitting me down and not in a hello type of a way, but a how are you type of a way, then I'll give the real answer.
I think it's a social thing. It's very much a United States thing because even Europeans will notice that when they come to the States, they say like everywhere you go, it's like, "Hi, how are you? How are you? Thank you. You're welcome."
Yes,
And
yes.
they're like overwhelmed with how much we do it here.
We do it up here too, I have to say.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
it's like instead of saying hi or hello, it's the how are you? How are you doing? It's like I already have in my head like automatic answers that I'm gonna tell that try to be as nice but impersonal as possible. Because I
Hmm.
realize that it's just being people being courteous.
I'm good, thanks.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Um,
So there's that. So then the other thing is just the weather, right? And I think Corey mentioned this as well. Um, so I live in North Carolina, which is like humidity central, and July and August is hot, like, 90-degree weather with 90% humidity. And so it just feels like it's 190 degrees outside. And um, sorry, Carmen, all Fahrenheit, but I think you get the drift. No, you do. I'm picking on my Canadian friend. Um,
I'm right there with
so
you. Yes, I hear what you're saying. We're sitting at
yes,
90s too, so yep.
yep, yep. It's so I was actually suffering so much from that heat that I just I lived in bed. Like I didn't have the energy to even get to the couch or anything. Like I just stayed in bed and watched TV and played on my phone and fell asleep and woke up and I and then I was watching Gretchen Howley, and I think I talked about this in our 1:30 meeting a couple weeks ago. And I see you, Carmen. Yes. And Gretchen Howley is a neurophysical therapist. And she does a lot of stuff on YouTube. And so I watch a lot of her videos and get her emails and stuff like that. And um, she was talking about heat, heat sensitivity and people with MS. And so I'm like, I'm gonna know everything she says. I've watched so many of these videos, but I watched it anyway. And she went through all the things: drink the cold water, use a fan, sit in the air conditioning, like, all of the cooling products that they have out there. So, and I'm just like, yeah, but that's not even my issue. Like, I haven't even gone outside at all today. I'm in air conditioning. I'm not that hot, but I'm miserable. And then kind of at the end, she mentioned um that really high temperatures tend to sit under a high pressure area. And that sometimes when, even if you're sitting in air conditioning and you're not heating, that the pressure can still affect your internal body temperature. And she kept harping, it only takes half a degree, it only takes half a degree. And then I watched a weather um thing, and they were talking about how this summer has been extremely humid, like way more humid than like breaking records humid, not just high this year, but like super high. And so I keep thinking, okay, so that was on like a Sunday, and they're like, so we're gonna have a cold front that's gonna come through on Monday and Tuesday, and that's gonna bring the temperatures down. It hasn't really done much for the humidity, but it has brought the temperature down. And just the difference in how I have felt this week compared to that week is just amazing. And on the downside, just like anytime you're stuck in bed, whether it's because you're sick or you're hot or whatever, I feel like I lost muscle mass, and any physical activity, is now harder to do. So I got to build all of that stuff back up again. So that's very, very frustrating. Um, but so now I'm trying to figure out, we've been nice for almost 2 weeks now. I mean, by nice, I mean no more than 80, 82 degrees outside. Yes, it's 90, 95% humidity, but the temperature isn't in the 90s, which is unusual for August. But I'm starting to wonder what I need to do something else in the summer. And I was thinking, my mom lives in Michigan. Maybe I can go to Michigan. And mom's been talking about how hot it's been up there this year. So I'm not sure that there's really any getting away from it. But yeah, it's quite frustrating. So anyway, that was all that really when I said, yeah, all I need is a minute, it was just about the weather stuff. And then I just wanted to comment on everybody else's stuff. And John, I think I heard you say you wanted to comment on some of my points.
Yes, thank you. Um, so to Corey, I go to a neuro physical therapist, and what they do is they run you through like exercises, and then after like 3 weeks, you're like, oh, so you're able to do a bunch of leg kickouts. You're able to stand up a couple times, and you pass this weight around your waist. Now you can put your own pants on and stand up and pull them up. They show you like how things go based on what you've already done in PT. It's really cool.
They're the best. I cannot recommend neurophysical therapy enough to people with multiple sclerosis.
And Juan Carlos, sometimes when people are like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm not going to lie. You guys know me. Let's say something like, well, I shit my pants yesterday. How are you today? Well, I shit my pants yesterday, but I guess I'm okay so far. Like, even if that didn't actually
You
happen, like,
asked.
just, you asked. You're going to get a little bit of the ride. You
You
bought the
crack me
ticket,
up, John. Oh my God.
you put your quarter in, and I'm going to say my whole song.
I love that.
You
So how
paid
many
for it.
people continue to use that when they see you? Or they're like, hey, John, and leave it
See
at
ya.
that?
Well, honestly, some people will be like, hey, Shoes, you shit your pants yesterday? Like, no. But like I know them better, of course. But yeah. But also I just like, oh hey, I'm glad to be here, or I'm glad that you're here, stuff like that.
Right.
But also,
Right.
well, I shit my pants. Not right now. Oh, Rick's here. Everyone be good. Everyone behave.
No more pants shitting. Hi, Rick.
At least not
Hello.
yet. At least not for today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Carmen, did you want to go? You haven't been able to share what you wanted to share today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh, no, I've been jumping in all over the place, and I apologize. I haven't been able to keep my mouth shut, but I hope that it hasn't been too annoying for all of you. And I really had nothing to say because you guys have covered it all. Like Andrea, the weather. Oh my God. I mean, thank God I live in a dry area, although because of that we have to deal with fires, although it hasn't been close, so that's been okay. But the heat, like I mean, it's what is it? It's 7 o'clock here, and it's still 92. So, like, it's been hot. And meanwhile, I'm sitting right beside an air conditioner. So I've got like a heating pad on my neck because my neck is sore. Like, it's not because I'm cold, but because if it gets cold, I'll be sore. And a blanket on my lap. But outside, like, if I go near a window, I'll just melt. But I'm so happy to hear that it's also like having to do with the pressure. That totally makes sense because my ears are so wacky with like popping and being off balance and all that stuff. And I've been just feel like I know I'm going to be housebound when it's like this, so I prep for it. And I look at it like the middle of winter. It's basically like the middle of winter. I couldn't go out if it was snowing and like a blizzard out there. And
Right.
this is the same thing. Like we're under heat warnings and it's awful. But thank God I don't
I
have the
was saying
humidity.
I was saying just the same thing again just the other day to somebody. I'm like, July and August are no different than January and February because I can't go outside and I'm miserable if I do.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and then oh, the forest fires. I've been thinking about you a lot. My mom lives up in Michigan, and I talk to her every week, and she's been mentioning, the smoke that's been getting to Michigan from the Canadian, fires.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, I'm interrupting now. See, we
No,
all
it's all
do it.
good. It's all good. Yeah, exactly. I was actually looking for a picture that was on our local news here, just of how close, like, I mean, it's regular that there's just fire going right, like, right.
Weren't they visible from your house last year?
Yeah. Well, that was actually th 2 years ago. Yeah. Like when the whole
Oh my
west
gosh,
side of
how long have
Kelowna,
I been coming to this
a long
meeting?
time, actually. Yeah. I mean, it must have been, no, it was 2 years ago, I think. Anyway, yeah. Long
Wow.
enough. Long enough that I don't mind being interrupted because I interrupt people too, but only because I want to like say something that like really in support of whatever you're saying. So I hope I don't
I
get
know.
annoying, but
I know. I
it's a
know.
small
It's
enough
really,
group. I
really
think we
hard.
can do it. Like I think if people were really, I don't know, I hope it's value add, not value remove or whatever you would say is the
Well,
opposite of
because
that.
also if you don't say it right then, you kind of forget.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I literally took notes. I've never done this before, but I was trying it out and I took notes, right? Like I didn't want to interrupt, so I took notes and when it's my turn, I'll circle back and then Corey left and
I I didn't. That's brilliant. Why
Hmm.
haven't I ever Why haven't I ever thought about taking notes during this meeting of like what I want to say?
I don't know.
We have brain fog. Never mind.
I opened a notepad on my computer and just took notes on my computer.
Which some days is easier than others because I mean, even just getting onto this call today with the audio and it's been ongoing in my ear. I don't know if you guys have had that too, or there's been like
Yes.
really loud snowy sections like just happened a few minutes ago. I don't know. It's something
Mm,
with GoTo. I swear today. I don't know.
right.
Anyway. So
It's
anyway,
funny.
it's just the weather and the feelings of that. Like other than that, I'm good. I'm good.
It's
Mm,
funny,
Happy to see
Andrea,
all of
that
you.
that you say that about the notes because I do that. when like when I see my therapist or if I'm in another group or when I talk to a friend, right after I do chat GPT and I start dictating in order to get notes. Otherwise, I forget everything.
Hmm.
And then I won't,
Yeah,
like, when I talk to that person, they'll tell me, like, you remember last time we were talking? And I'm like, I don't remember anything
happens to
unless I
me
have
all the
notes.
time and forget if it was a day or two ago. I mean, what we talked about 20 minutes ago, sometimes I can forget.
Yeah,
So,
and
On
if you're having a conversation and you want to say something and the other person
right,
took too
that's what
long,
I mean.
you're like, forgot what I was gonna say.
I mean, you can prompt me, oh, 5 minutes ago we talked about this. I'll be, yeah, yeah, but
Me too.
I'll forget if I have to hold it. Yeah. Rick,
Yeah.
how are you?
Well, I'm good, thank you. I just want to say, first of all, I want to say, Miss Andrea, very cute haircut. It looks like it's the MS haircut. I can see it's the same. It's a bit similar to Karen's. It's a little bit longer, but this between Karen and Andrea, we now have an MS style. Carmen's going to come in with this bob next. Have you ever?
No, I got to get it off the neck. I can't take so I let it grow during the winter, and then in the summer I have to get it off my neck. Otherwise, I'm like in awe of Carmen's hair. I would never cut that hair if I had that beautiful, long, beautiful
Oh,
head of hair.
thank you, Andrea. It is becoming harder and harder to manage, but it's so fine that it's not like a ton. I mean, it's finely grown long, but I have it either tied here or mostly I have pineapple head, which is what Andreas calls it. And I look awful. Like most of the time, it honestly is like like I can be just a rhino with a sideways horn, basically, with scrambly hair. That's basically how I look most of the time, in all honesty. So a rhino with a scrambly hair horn. That's a good description. Anyway,
Uh, uh, hey, let's just take a vote. How many of us think that John would look good with a bob cut? I mean,
Oh
I'll grow it
yeah,
way out and then cut it back in.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a deep reach here. Okay, there was a gum commercial where there's like an elf guy singing berries and eggs, berries and eggs. I got to get my berries and eggs. Hit anyone? All right, never mind then. About the haircut.
What was the one with the stripes
Yikes stripes, fruit stripes gum.
on the gum? On it was a stick of gum with stripes on it.
Yeah, it was fruit stripes.
Yeah,
Now ask me what I had for breakfast.
Fruit Loops.
Can't
I don't
remember.
remember what I had for breakfast, but I can remember that.
so I also wanted to say that I've been telling people for years, and Mr. Pettipool will actually agree with this, that that's how we describe the summer down here in deep southern Arizona, as being like winter everywhere else. Like you just don't go anywhere, you stay in because it's so hot. Although it just, Mike, just so you know, we just had a small monsoon and the temperature has actually dropped from about 100 to 84 degrees in about an hour. And that's what
Wow.
happens down here. It comes in and there's lightning and crazy rain, and the temperature drops a lot, and then it moves on. So that's what we've
So
got.
here
But
we
anyway,
call it a nor'easter, but yeah, that's what we that's what we had.
you don't get nor'easters in the summer, do you?
That's what just cooled us off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's
Um.
the hurricanes. Yeah, the hurricanes.
Oh, yes, because they come around. I got you. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
okay. Yeah.
You knew what I
otherwise,
meant. You know what I meant. They go and the air
yeah,
comes back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you had Mr. Franklin in here to begin with, so I'm glad you got to meet Bill. He's fabulous. He's really wonderful. And sorry, I was over in the doing double duty over in the RMC group. So, and it was fortunate that I was there today. So, because there was a lot of good information. So that's it.
I'm gonna say good night, friends.
Good night, friends.
Thank you
John,
for
good seeing
hanging
John.
out.
you.
Good
Mm,
night.
good night.
Okay. Did Karen or Mike, anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Make sure we hit everybody.
John said something about how often he takes him Dalfampridine. Twice,
Oh,
twice a
the
day.
walking drug is twice a day. I pill it twice a day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
You've been taking it already?
I've been taking it for a lot of years.
Okay.
I thought, yeah.
Mike, how was your appointment with your neurologist down in
It's
Colombia? Was it
very,
different?
very surprising. I walked in and sat down. Within 2 minutes, she said, "I'm going to put you on Ocrevus." And Kim told me, I said, "Well, why didn't Mayo say anything to me about those infusion drugs? It's been 5 years I've been going to Mayo, and then no one said a word to me about them." And Kim and I might be too old, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Oh,
And those type of drugs are very affordable here. I think are free. Um,
so Mike, are they scheduling you for Ocrevus?
they will be when I got to join a cohort, and then I'll be in the program. But I have the Colombian medical insurance, which is the main driver.
Well, I thought they pretty much declared that geriatrics, I don't want to call you that, Mike, but I have a feeling it doesn't do anything. There's like a less than 15% chance that it might slow down the disease. I mean, that's less than 15% that it might. So that's like 3% chance.
Um,
So what is the cutoff then for DMTs? Like after what age you just kind of go, I just might as well
Well, as
just
long
stop.
as there's money to be made, the pharmaceuticals will encourage you to take them. I mean, why not? When you can make $150,000 a year on people with MS.
I guess when there's not much left, there's you take what you can get, right?
If you want
At
it.
least it'll work in your mind. It's like, oh, I'm taking medication. It's working for as long as it
Placebo
works.
effect.
um,
Yeah,
plus, placebo is better than nothing.
Yep,
it's true.
agreed.
I think it was Alisa that was saying that she's had like 8 or 9 different drugs. I'm in the same boat because I was diagnosed in 91. I tried all the ABC drugs and then I was on,
What are the
right?
ABC drugs?
Oh,
Evonox,
Avonex,
Betaseron,
Betaseron, and
Copaxone.
Copaxone.
Exactly.
That's back in the Stone Age.
Mhm.
That's when that was all there was. Yeah, they were horrendous. Talk about side effects.
I only said it because Rick was asking Mike, "Are you getting Ocrevus?" It's like, well,
Yeah, that's one of the ones I had, and I had a not a very pleasant side effect also with that one. During the infusion, they had to stop it halfway.
Mm.
Now I am on Kesimpta just once a month. That's why when John was saying that he's taking a pill twice a day, I'm like, oh, that's too much. Not another pill. I don't think I could do that. I
Hmm.
already take so many. But Karen,
I'm
you were
relieved
saying
to be
that,
back to pills though too. Like I was doing Ocrevus, which is an infusion which takes, half a day. Really takes your day away and then you're recovering from the day after and sometimes another day. Not so much so when I was able to get it in my own city, but when I had to travel for it, it was like an ordeal, right? So now to be able to take a pill, I'm relieved, but I don't know if it's really working. I mean, I try to put my positive mindset to it, and I think that's a lot of it too. It's not everything, of course, but if you're taking something and you say, well, I don't know why I'm bothering, it's not working, and you put it in your mouth, well, of course it's not going to work. But, at least if there is some chance of it working, that you embrace it and have it positively. But must get hard after you're on your eighth or ninth medication that you're trying. And
and then the side effects, they're inevitable. And
mm,
then it's like you're saying there's the balance between should I take something or should I keep taking this? There's side effects. Are they worse than not taking anything and getting a relapse? And
mhm,
then nobody really tells you whether it will work or how good it's
it
working. The
just,
only
I
thing,
mean, they only promise to slow down the disease. That's all. It's
yeah,
not like it's going to reverse anything. And
no,
I was diagnosed in 2019, and I was just kind of appalled that nobody ever asked me if I want to slow down the disease. Nobody asked me, is that something you want to do? It's like, oh, so prolong this misery for a longer period of time and for what benefit?
yeah,
I think it's just very individual. It's very, very individual. I don't think anybody could tell you you could or you should or whatever. I
mhm,
know for me, if I had been taking Ocrevus and I experienced this decline, for me that would have been like devastating. Just for me personally, like why am I putting myself through this? I mean, I don't want to take the prednisone that you have to take, come home and feel crapped out, and for me it wouldn't have, and not only that, for me, had I taken it during COVID, I would have been
oh wow,
a complete basket case because I wouldn't have been able to be around anybody. And
yeah.
mhm.
and I'm still a novit. I don't like to brag about that, but
One
sure.
Charles, what can you describe the side effects of Ocrevus?
I had none.
None.
Me neither.
No.
Mine was an infusion reaction. I had it for a couple of months, and then 1 month, my body just said, nope, can't take it.
Hmm.
And then I was off of it.
I,
I was taking Ri- Rituximab or something. That was the one that I had before that.
Rituximab. It's just
Rituximab.
it's very similar to Ocrevus, but yeah,
Very similar.
rituximab.
But then then I had a relapse, so they stopped me and they said, well, let's try Ocrevus, and then took it for a couple months and then no more. And then they recommended Kesimpta, which is what I am right now, but now I'm having skin problems, like my
So my
rosacea
you know my
flushing
my
rosacea.
neurologist is her mother has MS, so she's went to became a neurologist, like looks at everything every day. Like I don't have any doubt that there's something out there that she doesn't know about, she doesn't care about, or whatever. So yeah, one of the day I got diagnosed in January 2019, she said, well, the sooner you do it, you could take rituximab or Ocrevus. I'm like, but nobody asked me if I want to slow down. Nobody asked me anything if I want to do that. And so then when COVID hit and we were confined, I talked to her and she said, well, you don't want to do it now, do you? Because it compromises your immune system. She said, well, you don't want to do it now, do you? And she said, I'm worried my mother has a new neurologist and I'm worried he's going to want to put her on it, and my mother doesn't want me to be like backseat driver, but she was afraid that her neurologist would do that. So just for me, I just felt it was the right decision for me.
So you take nothing, Karen?
I have Medicare, yeah. So I haven't, I got diagnosed, I can't do the math, my friends, in 2019, and I'm
Six.
74. I cannot tell you what the math is. How old was I?
So you take nothing.
So I don't take anything.
68, Karen.
68, yeah.
And
Oh,
and
almost.
you're on nothing, right, Karen? You're not taking any medicine.
No, I never took anything. And my primary care doctor, she's very holistic. She's an what is she? An osteopath.
She's a
And
DO.
so when it was recommended, Ocrevus was Ocrevus, 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 or you could take rituximab. Actually, when I got diagnosed, the neurologist said, we know rituximab. We don't know yet about Ocrevus. But then I went to some MS Society conference, and there was some very good looking doctor from Canada who just, Ocrevus, what do you have to lose? And I'm like, I don't know, my immune system, my,
Who cares?
my tolerance for side effects. But so I went to my doctor because when I went to that one, I really felt like, oh my God. And a friend came with me to that workshop. And I really left there feeling like, oh, I'm an idiot. I should have taken, and that was 2019. And so I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, it was before COVID. So I got diagnosed in 2019 and then did that. I don't remember when that was, maybe that summer. And I was like, oh, did I miss the boat? Should I have done that? And I said something to my doctor about it, that I left that meeting feeling like, oh, I should have. And she was very discreet. She said, for some people, that might be the right decision. I think she was kind of also like, I wouldn't do it if I were you, but for some people, that might be the right decision. And it's with anything like that, it's just really someone's, I know people get cancer and they do treatments, and even though, there's no hope, they do it. It's not our place to say, oh, they went and they got it and they got these side effects. It's just individual. Well, I saw my primary care provider last week. I haven't seen her in a long time. We hadn't really been getting along for the last year and a half because the system is making her crazy. And she's an osteopath. And she used to do body work on me, but then she wasn't allowed to do it anymore. Then she had a Wednesday clinic and she did, and she couldn't. And I'm getting swelling in my legs. I think about you, Carmen. Yeah, I had swelling in my leg. And she sent me for a Doppler exam. I knew I didn't need it, but I went anyway. And then her MA said, hey, she'd like to schedule you for an OMT. That's how she said it. And I'm sure you all know what OMT is.
What?
But you don't. Like nobody knows, but the MAs talk about it like the medical assistants, like everybody knows what it is. Osteopathic manipulation technique.
Oh,
That's what I would call body work that she used to do on me. So, and the first time she ever did it, I was like, you know, I said, oh my God. She goes, usually it takes a day. I said, oh, I've done a lot of woo woo. She goes, don't call it that. So, so I was like, really? She's inviting me in. For how long an appointment? 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I was on the table. She moved things. She's like, because I know I have a dislocated shoulder that's somehow somewhat a little bit better, but she was really working on my right side and doing stuff. Did I hurt you? She like moved my legs, moved my. She says, well, I'm approaching things differently now. And I'm just working mostly on the right side because that's where you have swelling in the leg, paralysis. I'm mostly working on the right side because the theory is if I can correct the right side, which is really impaired, some of that will transfer over to the left side. And she's like, "Oh, did I hurt you? Did I do it?" It just felt so amazing. Like I felt like she's scratching these itches that you can't get into. Just amazing. And then my feet, I woke up the next day without swelling, but my balance is so bad. I mean, that's the worst thing that I have with MS is my balance. And the next day, I was talking on the phone with someone about some things, and I was crying about, actually from beautiful things too. I had tears in my eyes, and I walked across in my kitchen. I have things to hold on to, the counter, the little my fantasy island, this little island I call my fantasy island, and, and then there's like a gap that it's just a few feet or I don't know how many meters, Carmen, but just a little just a little bit, and I would never take that step anymore. I'm glued to my walker, and I walked the 2 steps and I got a tissue and I went, I did, oh my god, I did that.
Whoa.
And then I did it again. Again I was like, oh, I didn't know that tissue in my nose or anything. Did it again. I was like, oh my god, I have not, oh my god, I've not done that. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. So then I went, I'm gonna try it again, and it was like, well, that didn't work. So and I also felt when I was laying on the table, like my feet were tingling, just in a good way, not that horrible tingle. And I said, I'm laying here, and I feel like I can just get off the table and start walking. Okay, I know that's not going to happen, but to just even have that feeling was
Just have your body awareness again. I think that's what I experience too sometimes, Karen. I don't know if that's what you're saying. Like your circulation's happening, you've got your nerves working again, and then
energies
things are
moving.
being moved, like that movement.
Energies being moved. Well, I used to go to chiropractor, like, or whatever. I had an injury at work, and whenever I went, I just said it. I'd feel like I'd swallow, and nobody could tell me like it made sense, but I always just felt like
Uh-oh.
I'd have this something was going on. So I used to ask that, but I get it when she does that body work on me because I know you've talked about that before. And I said, but then I asked the chiropractor, like, what is that? Because it's the only time I feel it. I don't have a problem swallowing. It's just feels like I'm clearing something. So he said, she laughed. He said, toxins. It's toxins. So, maybe it does kind of move talk because whatever she did just felt like amazing. Just felt like, what? Like, well, I am going to say it because it is the end and it's already overtime and nobody asked me how I was until after 7. I wasn't going to say anything, but Carmen, you told me to go to San Francisco with my power chair.
Yes.
And so Elizabeth was at the MS art class that just goes, oh, Karen, just do it. So then I came here and you were like, Carmen, you said, you never know when you might have that opportunity again. You should do it. So I spent the entire week like not doing anything, not lifting a finger, not moving anything. What do I need? What could go wrong? Call my friend. I said, can you bring food for me? I don't want to deal with food trucks. I don't want to do that. I'm going to bring my tea. I booked a pair of transit. And even it was Saturday, so even Thursday, Friday, I could still chicken out. I could still chicken out. And I have been a monster in my wheelchair ever since.
Awesome.
My power chair.
Awesome.
I mean, it was because it's very hilly in my neighborhood with a lot of broken cement. My neighborhood was my street was kind of boring when I moved in. So the city planted trees, which was really great, except when you're out with your power chair. But I practiced here in my neighborhood. I'd go out and practice. First I thought people were like, what is she doing? I couldn't get down my driveway. I had that chair since January of last year. And in March, Ryan came. I love Ryan. And he came from the Center for Independent Living and he taught me how to get down my driveway. And so I would get down my driveway for like 2 months like this. And then I finally went to, and now I can get on a driveway.
Awesome.
And so I have made 5 excursions since then.
Wow.
I made 5
Yay.
excursions. I had a medical appointment. I'm like, you know how easy it is going up and down the halls at Kaiser after where I've been? You know how easy that is? And then also just preparing to go to San Francisco, which it's actually an outdoor refrigerator, my friend. So in July, everybody's complaining. People are complaining about the weather here because it hasn't been hot enough and it's freezing in July. It was freezing.
Well, Andrea and I are going to be joining you there next year then.
Yeah, right. Especially in San Francisco, it's freezing. It's just, and so I just went out like Thursday and Friday before I went out one day with my jacket. I put on a hat. Let's see how I feel. Someone said bring a blanket. My friend actually brought me a blanket, but I put the blanket on me. I just went around up and down. Across the street from me is a dead end street, so I went. So Ryan was here for like the 8th time. He's like putting handrails. I've got handrails all around the house that I have a bunch of them. I got 4 in the shower, and I got handrails everywhere. And I do my dance thing. I'm like a pole dance,
Good.
like I
Good.
can stand up. But Andrea, like what you said, I can get out of the house, not just ride around my neighborhood and feel like the weird lady with the wheelchair. Plus, when I was going out, I was picking apricots and plums on people's streets. But so I did that San Francisco thing, and there were, a lot of people there I knew. And then I'm like pulling up to a workshop and they're like, yeah, Karen's here in a wheelchair. What? Like, do you know? Do you know how hard that, like, how hard it was? Because they've seen me before with my walker. So I did that. And then I had my good caregiver is like gone, and I'm glad. I had a new one I tried out today, and I have another one's on vacation. I felt like I got out of a bad relationship. She kept canceling with me, and she canceled herself out. So I was like, oh, good. I didn't have to. That's over. So I had an appointment for my brace because I'd been looking for an orthotist, and because she canceled, I went to the pool, and someone told me I said, I have an AFO. And this 14-year-old said, I have them too. Where'd you go? And his dad said, Embrace Orthotics, Embrace Orthotics. So I went to Embrace Orthotics. I was able to go there. I actually left with something, but I went on paratransit and I got my hair cut like that day. And I do this dance thing in South Africa. And someone said, oh, your hair looks really cute. And then I went on paratransit and the driver picked me up. He goes, you're a good driver. I'm like,
Awesome.
and then I even went to another medical appointment, and then I decided I want to go back to the theater. I miss the theater because hobbling with the walker doesn't work. So embracing the wheelchair, and I went to the theater on Sunday, and I called them, and he said, "Okay, just I got a spot for you, and when you come, you can pay, even though it was sold out." And then I ordered a subscription, and then he says, "Well," I said, "I just couldn't deal with the website." He goes, "Okay, I'll put down 3 dates. You can always change them." And I said, "Well, but what about today?" He goes, it's on us. I
Nice.
just feel like, and then they have this thing called National Night Out around the country. People have block parties. So we always have them. And I went the last 2 times. I hobbled down and I went with my car. And then this time I'm like, went in my chair. And and I said, no, I'm not bringing anything. I don't have to bring anything. I'm the queen in the chair. I don't have to I'm just like, I'm cool. So I went down there and then I saw this couple I met the last time it was at a different block party. So then I said, okay, I'm going to turn my chair around. But I know there's always leftovers. So I had like containers, like I'm going home with, I'm going home with some stuff, people don't. So then I turned around and I was like, okay, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to move. And then the tables behind me fell with food on it. And then I went like, oh my God. I said, did I do that? And they go, it's okay. I said, I guess that's a yes. But, just navigating, like this person in a wheelchair. And instead of feeling ashamed or embarrassed or whatever, and mine's like raspberry beret. And I have to put my bags on the side because it's like blazing raspberry color. So at Golden Gate Park, there was some people I hadn't seen because they live in San Francisco. And they're like, oh my God, look at you. You're in a Rolls Royce. Oh, look at you. You just got this thing. So I cannot believe how my world changed. And
Awesome.
I'm going Friday to another theater that I'm a subscriber of, but I haven't been going. I said, oh, I'm gonna come in my power wheelchair. And then and I went to my doctor last week in Alameda on paratransit. And then I decided to spend 4 or 5 hours in Alameda. It's all flat. And I just like hung out, and the driver came and people like trash paratransit, but I looked at my thing and I've been on like 50 different rides, and most of them were round trip, but at least 10 of them weren't. I went here and then I got picked up there, and I'm waiting for the driver. Well, when he took me to the theater, he goes, "Hey, you weren't in a chair before. You know what's going on? You weren't in a chair before. You were, um, using a walker." I said, "Yeah, that got too hard." And he goes, I remembered him, but I didn't think I went anywhere. You talk about memory. I go, "Well, I haven't really gone anywhere. I've been cooped up in a house, and I really have gone somewhere every month. I went somewhere, but then we were getting where we were going to, and he goes, "Didn't you go to something in that church over there?" I said, "Oh yeah, I went to a birthday party." So that was then, and then I also asked him about caregivers, and I asked his name, and he said, "It's Adam." He goes, "Actually, it's Ahmed, but no one can say that." I said, "I can say that." So I have his number, I have all this stuff. And then when I was in Alameda, they had a hard time getting the paratransit finding me because of where I was. And then who pulls up? Ahmed, Karen. And so it's just like I got my own bus. I got my private bus. I got my own bus that picks me up, takes
That's
me where I
awesome.
need to go. And I had this great ride back from the theater, even though he couldn't find me. So I feel like, wow,
World
wow.
has opened.
Like doors have opened, and if they come get me, Alameda was the first time I was like, I'm just tooling around by myself for 4 hours. And okay, driver didn't come, but it wasn't like I was in 90-degree weather with 90-degree humidity. It was actually a hot day that day, but we don't have the humidity, and we don't have, it wasn't raining, it wasn't cold. He just couldn't figure out where I was, and I called him up. So my mood has changed like completely, and I put on 40 miles on my wheelchair
Awesome.
because Ryan came yesterday, and I had notes for him. I hadn't seen him in a while because you were going to go to San Francisco. What happened? And then I had these notes, and because when I met him, I had maybe 8 miles, 5 or 8 miles. So then I was just practicing because when I go out now, I'm not really putting a lot of miles on, but I'm like, I put on 40 miles. I put on about that much in my car in the same time frame because I don't go out. So it's just changed. Like, wow. But Carmen, you told me to do it. I don't know. I think I might have chickened out, and you were like, "Do it now. Do it when you can do it," and
Well,
just
Karen seized the
embracing the
day.
wheel
Awesome.
because you have your chair, but I don't know
Yep.
how much you go out with it.
Well, I go out quite a bit actually when I can, like when it's not weather like this. It's just that right now we've got street construction, so I can't really get out and just go do my thing in my neighborhood. So I always have to get a ride, and just hasn't been very easy lately. Plus, with it being summer, but hopefully once the street stuff is done, then
But you
I'll
put
be able
your
to get out
you
a
put
bit
your
more.
chair in your van, right?
Yeah, we have a van. So I've got a beautiful, I'm so lucky. Like we've got a Sprinter van with a commercial lift at the back. It's just, I'm like cargo basically, but whatever. My friends say I'm precious cargo. So I just have to embrace it because that's how I get out. So here I
I
am.
don't I don't sit in the chair when I go out because I wanted to go, especially to San Francisco. It was a long drive, and there was someone else they picked up. But I said no. I want to sit on the butt. I want to feel like I used to do. I'm
I do
just.
move to the front seat. Like I get out of my chair and I move to the
Oh,
front.
okay.
Bye, Andrea, if that's you waving goodbye. Good night.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I just
I'm
wanted
leaving
to
soon
tell you
too.
that.
But that's awesome, Karen. I'm so happy that you did. Like, seriously, you
And
just have
I'm
to
so happy
embrace it and
that you
go.
encouraged me to do that.
That first time, though, when you do go out, like in your chair and people are seeing you for the first time, I know exactly that feeling because I just went to a friend's retirement party a couple months ago down at my work. And that's the first time lots of them have seen me in a chair. And there I am, like,
But did they see you
show.
with a walker? Like I feel like I look more pathetic with a walker.
No, because I went off just before, like, I worked through COVID at home, and that's where I was using a rollator. Like, I started using a rollator because I was sitting so long at home and not walking anymore to and from like the
Right.
office and all that stuff. But it was just like timing. So I had progressed at home, and lots of people hadn't seen me at all. No. I might limp once in a while, and people would say, "Oh, is your knee okay?" And I'd say, "Yeah, no, my knee is bad." And it was. I mean, I had knee surgery,
But that wasn't
but
why you were
it was
limping.
my fucking MS, really, is what the problem
Yeah.
was. Oops, sorry, bad word.
I mean, the bad news is I'm declining, and I need the wheelchair. But I'm
I
not
know,
so
but
exhausted. Like I have to do everything, every calculate every step.
yeah,
I went for that Doppler exam. I was like, oh my God, if I had been with my walker. And then they hauled me down the hall, but I was zooming around the third floor. The security guard said, can I help you? I said, no, I'm just like, because I can. And I want to know where the bathrooms are. Can I push the bathroom open? They don't all have buttons. How can
Mm-hmm.
I manage? How can I do this? So I'm like a little worried because I'm like, oh my God, I'm just elated. But how long
Mm-hmm.
is that going to last?
It keeps lasting because you're just so glad you can get out of the house and still be independent because you know what it feels like to hobble past those 2 feet in your kitchen. Like
Right?
it wouldn't be happening if you didn't have the chair. So
Yeah. And I haven't used it a lot in the house since then, but I have this new caregiver came today. She's great. She was great because I had someone come on Saturday and I don't even want to mention her name. I don't. She was like she did like nothing when she left. I wound up cleaning my kitchen floor. I put a rag on the floor and I moved around with my feet, and then I cleaned my lift. It was like she didn't do anything. And then this one came today. She's like real peppy, and so that's just. And I had her do everything. Can you get this out of the fridge for me? Can you do this? Like, yes, I can do it myself, but I don't want
that's the
to.
point.
It's
Yeah.
tiring. I don't want to empty the dishwasher. I don't want to put the dishes in the dishwasher.
Hmm.
I don't want to. So, and it was tiring when she left. Like, it's like, oh God, that was, but to reflect on, like, wow, if you can, like you're saying, you're positive for going for medication. It's
Yeah.
just if you
Yeah.
can look at what works, like if you
Well,
could
it's
just,
also energy conservation, like there is a finite amount that we have, and it makes sense that you want to save it for going out in your wheelchair rather than having to empty the dishwasher or wipe your lift down, right? So
yeah, yeah,
I say seize the day because I mean, having progressed and knowing, that there's a trajectory here,
yeah. And
I'm not gonna
we're
sit
pretty
back and just not, try to embrace some of it when I can.
but
That's
we're
speaking very positively.
we've been in similar trajectory, and so you're a good inspiration for me.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you did it, Karen. That's awesome.
And Carmen, I do have swelling in my leg, but I use the other leg, tibial nerve stimulation. I'm not
Still working.
floating.
That's good. That's good. And I've been on Lasix now, so my legs are way better. Like I have like nice legs, nice toes. I'm so happy. I also got some bamboo sleeves. I don't know if you've seen One Compress, but they've got open toes, so they don't make my toes all tight and they don't go all the way up my calf. And they're so awesome, except
What are
I
they
can't have
called?
they're by One Compress. It's a bamboo sleeve. Like
Uh,
it's just like a tube that you wear on your foot. You can get them for your elbow or your knee or whatever, but it's like
do,
a foot wrap.
do you have edema on both legs?
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
But it also helps keep them in position. Like, when you're laying in bed, if you're laying in bed a long time and your feet are just flopped down, like it's all these lifter extensor muscles that get weak on my leg. Like, so if this is my foot and this is my leg, it's hard to lift my foot, right? Like that's what foot drop is. So when these muscles are just flopped like this all night long or all day long, if you're sitting in your chair, then they're in that extended position and
so
they
do you
get
have a
weaker.
brace? See, now I have a foot brace.
Yeah, and I don't
Also,
have a
night
brace.
splint. I have to get a new night splint, but this new orthotist was so amazing because I saw it for 50 minutes. I mean, I've been for over a year with this. She goes, well, I don't like that night splint. And well, let's just do one thing. She sent me home with a brace, a very lightweight brace, very, and it just stops and she,
Mm-hmm.
and when I used the night splint, and I did get exercises, I got them from my home care physical therapist last year. But how do you implement all this stuff?
Yeah, I know.
You got to just choose what makes sense to you. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm moving more because yeah, it's like the night splint, and I stopped
Yeah.
using the one I had because it was just too much. So she's gonna recommend another one that. So I
And I
do.
have been trying to get my feet above my heart more often, like taking a rest, which is not an easy thing for me to do. Like once I get up and get going, I tend to
Yeah.
just go, go, go. But I can't sit in the chair for like 3.5, 4 hours anymore. I have to take a break because it's just my legs are just throbbing and hurting and numb and swelling and not as bad now with the regular Lasix and getting things under control, but having to take a break and just rest and be good to myself. So Anyway, I
Oh,
know it's getting late.
I
I keep answering every question and talking and interjecting on everybody's conversation, and poor Kim is just like, "Okay, shut up, you guys."
all
Well, I
right.
was
I'm
just incredibly
quitting
tired
going.
today.
I
You know,
know,
have
and you're loud.
very, very fatiguing day, so
Yeah,
it's
and I'm
hard
sorry to
to.
have kept you.
No, it's fine. But that's what we're here for. So, is there anything else anybody want to talk about before we end for the day? I got a bill today. It's not MS related, but for my rotator cuff surgery, I got a bill for $37,000, and my insurance sent me a
For your
notice going.
what? What was
My
it for?
rotator cuff
For the
surgery I
road.
had.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and they're like, they sent me a piece of form July 26th on Saturday that I sent out. I mailed it to them on the Monday, and it's like they're trying to like, did you have an accident? You know, is there someone else liable? Is there someone else, insurance? And it's just so frustrating. So
Mm.
I have to deal with the stress of like, I was swimming, and that's when I noticed the pain. I don't believe the swimming caused the pain. It was because the range of motion I was using. And then I got worse, and then the tour. I could have tore it while I was sleeping. I don't know. I don't have any recollection of an injury, but it's just frustrating to have to deal with all that, and it's very
Are you gonna
stressful.
have to pay that, or is that what insurance is just asking all these questions about?
I don't think I'll have to pay for it, but my
You have to
insurance,
fight.
the
You might have
insurance I've had since my husband switched jobs in October is very, very crappy, and it's been very, very
Mm.
frustrating. They still haven't paid. I still haven't seen the claim go through for my infusion in the beginning of April. And I talked to them like, yeah, it might not be deal since it's October. So I'm like, so I might bankrupt us before I know it because the second infusion I take and I find out the first one wasn't covered. I'm 6 months apart. Like, it's just really messed up and it's just very frustrating. I just
Oh.
needed to
Are you
vent
in?
about it because you guys understand.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
besides Carmen, because Carmen doesn't have to deal with the
Yeah.
insurance stuff
But
like
No,
me.
but
Kim,
I get it. I mean,
You get
those
it,
are
the
bills, and that's
frustration.
it
shitty.
doesn't matter if it isn't in health insurance, it's some other bullshit. But Kim, are
Mm-hmm.
you on Medicare?
Yeah, that's my secondary.
Did you say, oh, so, I mean, would you be better off to do the Medicare thing? Or
Well, Medicare
if you've got
secondary
private
because
insurance?
if you have how it works with disability is if your private insurance has greater than 100 people working at the company, then your private's primary and the Medicare secondary. If the company has less than 100 people, the Medicare is primary and then private is secondary.
Hmm.
So I don't have a choice on that.
I don't even know what that means then. If Medicare is secondary and the first one says we're not going to pay for it, Medicare is going to say, well, then we're not either.
I don't know. I don't know. And I found out that Medicare sent me, Medicare's super slow to get the little EOBs in the mail. And I found out that the hospital, I guess, tried to bill Medicare first, and they're like rejecting it because like we're the secondary payer, and it's just you tell all the different parts of the medical facility which is primary, which one's secondary, but they'll still flip it all the time. Or I'll get a bill and then I have to call and go, "Hey, did you bill my secondary insurance?" And they go, "Oh, no, we didn't." I'm like, "Well, can you do that for me, please?" So it's just
Gong
a lot
It's
show.
of
just
a lot of navigation, and I just spent like, not including all the stress, I just like spent over 45 minutes on the phone today about that. I just
and
wasted time.
only that's pretty good. Only 45 minutes. I know. I just
Well,
spent
it's a
Really, I'm
continuation.
just
It's
kidding.
not my
I know, I'm
fault.
just kidding. I'm like, I wanted
Yeah.
to do a follow up with my doctor, and there wasn't a way to do that. I have to call the advice, and then they have to do this, and then someone does that, and then someone else calls. And someone said to me, "Was it okay if the doctor calls you back?" There's no reason for the doctor to call me back. I just want to make an appointment like on a Wednesday at 11:30, whenever there is one. Well, but can the doctor call? No, we're not going there. I'm not going to have the doctor involved with like making an appointment. It's like that with everything. But to get a $37,000 bill, to get a $37 bill, to get
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 bill, it's just you can't just. So what?
Mm-hmm.
And the bills are now so nondescript. All they say is like the date of service and where it happened. They never show a breakdown of like what the cost was, what the insurance paid for.
they send it to secondary. So you always have to call and get information because they are the most nondescript, basic, worthless piece of paper. And thankfully, I keep good medical records and dates and stuff so that I can figure out what is this even about. Um, but yeah, so that was just a frustration today that I had that now I have to deal with and figure out.
Well,
And they
hopefully it
approved my surgery. I mean, beforehand, I got the letter in the mail that they approved my surgery and all the different things. And
yeah. So,
but they'll find
but to
some
make you jump through
little
all these hoops and stupid things, right?
yeah. And then I got another piece of paper in the mail from another company it's a similar form to the one I filled out. So I had scanned because I'm paranoid and I like to keep my records. I had scanned the form I mailed. I photocopied it. So the gal I was talking to, I'm like, can I just email this form to you? Because I'll scan it in. And she's like,
No.
oh yeah, that'll work. I'm like, all right, well,
Oh,
Why
you
then
didn't you
can't.
give me
start
that
with
option for the
that?
form. They had to either fax it or snail mail it.
Yeah, they don't take email for certain things. Just till you're like, really,
Yeah.
what century are we in? You know
And when they
what?
wanted to snail mail it, usually they gave you like a little envelope to send it. They didn't even give
No.
me an envelope. It's like they were trying to just make it that much tougher. And it's just like, what the hell? Anyway, so I have this looming over my head, are they going to pay for my surgery? Are they going to pay for my surgery? They still haven't figured
Mm-hmm.
out the blood work from December for my hormone draw. And then my infusion, that's $150,000. That's still, so I'm like, am I going to be in the hole? Like,
Good
You're not
what,
gonna.
God.
Right.
if they don't pay for my infusion, like they say, or they keep, well, this part we will, but this part we won't, because they like to do that. This company, they just like to go, well, we'll pay for this little extra, but this one we won't. And you have to
Good
fight. And
grief.
it's just, I don't know. If it keeps
It's
going up, my
fiery.
husband, it might be like, might not be worth working this job, hon. You might need to go to a different job that has better insurance. That's not just,
But then why do you have to have his insurance if you're
because I
married?
can't work full time because I'm
Yeah, but you
disabled.
don't work. But I'm just saying, like, why couldn't you just have the Medicare and not his? Like, who would know?
Oh, because if I have Medicare, when you have the Ocrevus infusion, they pay for it, but they don't lower the amount. You know how a lot of times they'll charge $1,000 for the X-ray, and Medicare's like, well, it's only worth $100, and then they pay 80%, so they'll pay $80 and you pay 20. Well, they don't lower the amount at all. So when they get a bill for $150,000, they'll pay the 80%, but then I'm stuck paying $30,000, which is 20% twice a year, and I can't afford paying
But there are, well,
$60,000.
I'm just saying, just look into it. I'm not saying what I think, but they've changed so that they have these plans, like I don't know what plan F or plan, whatever. I remember Christy was talking about that, but they have these plans where there's a supplement. I mean, it's just worth
Yeah,
exploring
I
because
still think private insurance is probably better than a supplement for me.
I don't know. I don't pay anything.
It's
I
just
don't
all the
pay any.
hoops that they're
I don't
making
pay
you
any
go through and the
co-pays.
stress.
I don't pay any co-pays. I don't pay anything extra, and I have like this basic plan. So, but it also depends where you live. It's like
Yeah,
where
you're in a
and
different
what the
state than I
competition
am.
is, and
This is frustrating, but
okay. Good night, everybody.
we will meet in 2 weeks, and it's going to be 1:30 Eastern time on the 26th.
Luck
So I
to
hope
you
everyone
all.
has a great night. Thanks for
See you.
listening. Thanks
Have
for
a good
Hey,
night,
coming.
take care.
everybody.
See everybody.
Hope it
Thanks,
goes smooth,
Kim.
Kim. Bye,
See you.
Mike.